Hi everyone, Wismeril here. I'm finally back with some videos for you. Apologies, I've been quite sick lately. I had a problem and I had to fix myself, so I was not able to continue the project I had where I would upload speed farming videos for level 70 plus. Now the good news is I'm back on the job and I'm ready to blast season 2. That's why I'm bringing you this video guide today about how to speed level as fast as possible your sorcerer progression from level 1 to level 100. Let's get started. So first things first, between level 1 to level 15, we're going to want to farm some aspects that we're going to imprint later on in the progression. So here's the speed farming route that you will want to follow. The first things you're gonna do in Key of Ashad is to complete the first quest here that's going to yield you some herbs that you're going to use later on to upgrade your potions and to craft some elixirs for this sweet 5% multiplicative multiplier with your experience. Run number 1, you're gonna go to farm Dead Man's Dredge dungeon. You're going to start in World Tier 2 difficulty, and on the way you really have to pay attention to any herbs, whether it's a Yellow Vine or a Bite Berry that you will see on the way. Those are very important because the Bite Berry and Yellow Vine will allow you to craft your first elixirs that will boost your XP gain. Then you're going to complete Dead Man Dredge's dungeon to collect the Piercing Cold aspect. And I'm going to show you later what build you're going to use for that. Then you're going to go to Kyrgyzstan and start route number 2. From the main city, you're going to go here and claim this waypoint. You might get this waypoint in season 2. I think they will give you a few of those, and I'm not sure if this one's included. Then from here, you're gonna go to this dungeon here in order to farm the aspect of control, still in World Tier 2 difficulty. Why are we in World Tier 2 difficulty? Because those two dungeons have no boss at the end, making it fairly easy to speed farm the dungeon in World Tier 2, especially with the 10 skill points that you're getting from the Renown this season. Once you complete this dungeon and claim the aspect of control, you're going to switch from World Tier 2 to World Tier 1. This is because the next dungeon and all coming dungeons will have a boss at the end. So you really want to be in World Tier 1 in order to kill the boss as fast as possible. Believe me, I tried both ways many times. It is slower to do the rest in World Tier 2, and the benefits you get are not that huge. On the way, you're going to stop to kill that elite monster here. There's a 33% chance that it will drop you a rare item. You're not going to use this rare item because it's a silly item. Like it has a level requirement while it has the stats of a level 1. But you're going to salvage it, hoping to get some Veil Crystals, because you really need to have 6 Veil Crystals once you reach level 15 to 16 and start speed farming Domhaine tunnels. Then go to this dungeon, finish it, and you're going to farm the incendiary aspect. This is the aspect why we need to have 6 Veil Crystals, because we're going to want that one as early as level 15 to 16. For your next dungeon, you're going to farm the Snowguard legendary aspect. So you're going to go to the Whispering Tree over here, and you're going to head to this dungeon right there, still in World Tier 1 difficulty. Claim the Snowguard aspect, and then proceed to Ketbardu town, because we are going to farm the aspect of might in this dungeon right here, still in World Tier 1. Then we're going to go to farm the aspect of disobedience there. So we'll be starting again from Act 5 right here and follow the blue route, number 5. We claim the disobedience, and finally we're going to want the prodigies aspect. So from Act 5 again, Route number 6, we're going to kill this unique monster on the way and hope for a rare drop, 33% chance, and then we're going to head to the Prodigy's Aspect dungeon and claim it. From there, after finishing this dungeon, you will be exactly level 15, which is the perfect timing to go to complete your enchantment quest, your Sorcerer class quest. So from Key of Ashad, head over there, claim this waypoint, Nevesk I believe it is, and then you would go and do the quests inside this dungeon. Once you claim this waypoint, switch back the difficulty to World Tier 2. Why? Because in this dungeon, we are not going to kill the boss, we are not going to complete the dungeon, we just want to fetch the codex for the enchantment quest, therefore we can afford to do it in World Tier 2, it's fast, and it gives more XP, 20%, than if you would do it in World Tier 1. Now let's talk about the builds that we are going to use on the way to level 15 doing all those dungeons. So when you start, you're going to rock a Fireball Hydra build for Dead Man's Dredge and for the dungeon where you're going to get the aspect of control. The reason is Fireball is the best starting skill for AoE damage, and Hydra is the best starting skill to kill the elites for single target damage. Our Clash will be your basic skill. The reason is it gives a plus 18% movement speed buff every time you hit an enemy. You first charge it up to three charges, and then you just have to hit here and there objects around you or enemies to keep the buff active. This is the best setup from level 1 to level 9. I have included in the description of this video all the build guides you're going to rock throughout your progression to level 100. From level 10 to level 16, 15 to 16, you're going to rock a Firewall build. This is because you will be in World Tier 1 difficulty, so Trash Mob will die very quickly, and Firewall is great for just speed farming this dungeon. I mean, running as fast as you can to the end of the objective while still killing the Trash Mobs on the way. You just lay a few firewalls behind you and enemies will die. Now, you do want to kill every single elite you're going to find on the way. The reason is from level 10 and mostly level 12, that's the time where elites do drop rare items very often. So on the way, starting at level 10, you really want to stop and to kill all the elites you're going to encounter on the way. This build also have Hydra, and on top of Hydra, we're using Ice Blades. The reason is we want to apply vulnerable on the bosses, because from this dungeon till the rest of the dungeon until level 15, you're going to fight a boss at the end of every dungeon. And Ice Blades is the best in slots for applying vulnerable on those bosses to make that fight as short as possible. In the description of this video, you will find a single link with the planner and all the builds that you're going to use from level 1 all the way to level 100. You can see that I listed them one after the other. So for instance, level 1 to level 9, that's where I said that we're going to use Fireball. So you have the complete build here, well complete, it's just a level 9 build, but you have all the skill points that you want to assign until you reach level 10. Level 10, you're going to switch to the Firewall Ice Blade Hydra, and this is showing where to spend the points. Then, when you reach level 15, you're going to complete the enchantment quest, and after finishing it, you will be likely level 16, and that's the time you will have a huge power spike because you will unlock your first enchantment slot where we're going to use Fireball, and that's the time where we're going to imprint our first legendary aspect, the Incendiary Legendary. This is going to help us a lot on the mana management front in order to spam Firewall in Domhaine tunnels, as I'm going to show you later in the level 16 to level 40 progression. Level 16, you're reaching a super big power spike. And if you follow the farming route that I gave you, you will have enough resources, i.e. herbs, to craft your first 2 elixirs, the weak iron barb elixir. This one will be available in season 2 on a new character on a new season. That's the only elixir that is available right at the start. It costs 5 ghetto vine and 5 bite berry. And if you follow the route that I posted before, you will have more than 10 of each. So you will be able to craft 2 of those elixirs. By the way, I linked the full run, the full leveling run, where on average, I was reaching World Tier 3 difficulty in 3 hours and a half. And I was getting to my first nightmare dungeon in World Tier 3 difficulty in less than 5 hours. This is using this very optimized route that I'm sharing with you, but keep in mind that I'm not the best player in the world when it comes to the execution part. I'm pretty good when it comes to theory crafting, but I'm not the best when it comes to the execution. So if you are a great player and if you click fast and accurately, you will beat my timer. So I expect you to be able to reach World Tier 3 in 3 hours and 15 minutes and probably 4 hours and a half before you enter your first nightmare dungeon in World Tier 3 difficulty. Every time you are in the outside world like this, you really have to collect the herbs. In all the routes that I posted, it's important to keep your eyes open for any herbs that you're going to see on the way. Anyway, so now we're level 16. We just finished the enchantment quest and we're going to Domhaine tunnels, the best place to level up as of now, as of the current state of this patch and hopefully the next patch. Now keep in mind that this dungeon is the best place to farm because the density has been greatly increased with one of the recent patch. Now the thing that I'm worried about is Domhaine tunnel density is very high because it's a nightmare dungeon at the moment. Now the next season it's going to rotate out. It's not going to be a nightmare dungeon anymore. Does it mean that the density is going to decrease? I'm not sure, but if that's the case, I'm going to post on the channel a plan B and plan C for leveling in case the density of that dungeon gets decreased. So, as I was saying, level 16, we have our enchantment slots with Firewall, and we have our Pyromancy ring for mana management, which I don't have right now at the moment because I only had 5 Veil Crystals during that run, so I was not able to imprint it yet. You can see the mana is not flowing as if there was no tomorrow. While when you have that ring equipped, you can spam the hell out of your spender, out of Firewall. And you see, I even noticed that I didn't have the Fireball enchantment. I did this speed leveling route like 7 to 8 times so far. And I have to say that that's the only time where this run, I didn't have all the Veil Crystals to imprint my ring. Usually, you should have your 6 Veil Crystals and you'll be able to imprint it right there. So the idea is you'll benefit from a huge power spike and you'll have the mana will not be an issue at all. So you'll be able to speed farm super fast this dungeon. So let me show you one of the runs where here I probably have the ring equipped and you can see that it goes pretty well on the mana. So you're going to stay here from level 16 to level 40 exactly. When you reach level 40, and it should take approximately 1 hour to do that. That's why you crafted those 2 elixirs. Remember, they're half an hour each. I was able to do it in 1 hour and 10 minutes. So you have 1 hour where you're covered by the elixir, and then the 10 minutes after that, that's fine. Then you're going to reach level 40. When you reach level 40, you want to complete Domhaine tunnels because you want to claim the aspect that we are going to use with the build that will help us to clear the first capstone dungeon. So let me show you how you're going to spend your points from level 16 to level 40. So of course, level 16, you'll have those two here, 2 here, 1 here, 1 here. 2 plus 4 equals 6. That unlocks that part. You have 1, 2, 3 plus 1. You don't have this yet. You have those 3 plus those 2 plus those 3 here, where you want the Shimmering Frost Nova to act like a mana potion. You are fine on the mana front, but Lucky Hit is RNG based, and sometimes RNG is, random. So there could be times where you don't refill completely your mana bar and you'll be happy to cast a Frost Nova on the big density, on a big pack of trust mobs, and it's going to completely refill your mana potion. You're going to want 3 points in Mana Shield right at level 16, because this is going to help you a lot on the survivability front. You're spamming the hell out of Firewall, and this will be up all the time in combat. You're going to want only 1 point here in Firewall, 1 in Enhanced Firewall and 1 in Mage Firewall. You're not going to have that yet at level 16. And this is where this is the setup for level 16. Now, the next points that you're going to spend, 1 here, I think this is the point number 16, then 1 here, then 3 here, because this node here in Domhaine tunnels is huge. The density is so much that your sustain is absolutely insane with this node here. So 3 points there. Then the next 2 points will be over here for a multiplier to scale your damage. Next, you're going to be level 25, so you're going to put 1 point in combustion to get another damage multiplier. Then you're going to spend the next 3 points in protection for survivability. Then 3 points in inner flames for another multiplier, and then 4 points in elemental dominance for yet another multiplier. Now, the next points will be in Firewall to scale its damage until you reach level 39, and when you reach level 40, you're going to put 1 point in Ice Blades. This is because at level 40, you're going to clear Domhaine Tunnel in order to claim the aspects. So to speed up the boss fight, you really want to have Ice Blade. When you enter the boss area, remove Frost Nova and put Ice Blade. It's going to tremendously help the duration in which you take down the boss. And you will be level 40. You will be done with Domhaine Tunnel for now, and you're going to assemble the build that's going to allow you at level 40 or 41 or 42, depending on the weapon drop that we're going to see in a minute, that's going to allow you to clear the first capstone dungeon as early as level 40. Now you're level 40 and you just finished the Domhaine Tunnel dungeon and claimed its aspect. Let me give you a quick word on how you should manage your items. Starting from level 16, starting from the first run you do in Domhaine Tunnels, you're going to want to keep every single yellow item and every single legendary that you're going to find. This is because when you're going to imprint them, depending on the resource you have, you will either imprint a level 200 plus iLevel item, which will cost you 6 Veil Crystals, or a level 300 plus for 10 Veil Crystals, or a level 400 plus for 6 Veil Crystals and 1 legendary material, or a level 500, which is very rare and I don't recommend it, for 10 Veil Crystals and 2 legendary mats. So keep every single yellow and stash it, and sell all the blues and all the whites that you're going to encounter from level 16 to level 40. This is very important. Of course, upgrade your weapons on the go and upgrade your items, but keep everything else in your stash. Of course, the run that I've been doing was a full simulation of Season 2 start, which means that I only used the gold that I found on the way, I only used the items that I looted, I found all the aspects and so on. All the timers that you see down there in the middle are the real timer, if you will. It's not really Season 2, but this is as close as you get from Season 2. I noted how much gold I started with, how much herbs, materials, whatever I had when I started, and I only spent what I found on the way. This is very important because if you see other videos claiming to, I don't know, reach World Tier 3 in 1 hour and a half, well, guess what? I don't think they farmed their aspects, and I'm pretty sure they were unlimited on gold and on materials, which I did not do to reflect a real Season 2 start and a real rush to level 100. Alright, now what do we do next? Well, before we attempt to clear the capstone dungeon at level 40, we need one more thing. We need a weapon that's gonna be level 40, 41, 42, or 43, or even 44. And how do we get that? Well, we go to the magic chest. In the stronghold named Altar of Ruin, there is this chest here that I call the magic chest. This is because this chest will always give you at least one rare item per run, sometimes two, sometimes one legendary. And the level of that item is going to be between level 36 to level 44. This is because this stronghold, Altar of Ruin, has a level of 45. And as you can see here, the run is very simple. You let the mobs kill you after you loot the item, you exit, go back to the menu, start again. It will take you 40 seconds exactly per loop, which means you're going to loot from 1 to 2 rare items every 40 seconds. And this item can be anything, weapon, armor, or jewelry. But you are going to do that over and over until you find a two-handed staff with level 40 to 44, or eventually, but it never happened to me in the 8 total runs that I did, eventually a one-hand weapon and a focus that's going to be both of level 40 to 44. Usually you get a staff first before getting both the weapon and the offhand. Okay, so I think on this run I had to do it. I had to loot 22 items before I got my staff of level, I think it was 40 during that latest run. But it's RNG based, but it will take between 10 to 20 minutes on average for you to be able to find a two-handed staff with level 40 to 41. So the run will always be the same. Start fresh, evade, duck, teleport, flame shield, evade, duck, firewall, duck, loot the corpse. You will always find something in this corpse. That's very nice. Can be a gem, can be some materials. Attack the stones there to clear the path. Evade, teleport, open the chest, loot. Let them kill you as fast as possible. Do not revive, because if you revive, it's going to consume 10% of wear on your items. But if you quit, you won't have to repair your items. So you'll be saving gold like that. Rinse and repeat. That's 1 to 2 rare items every 40 seconds. 40 seconds because my computer is quite old. If you have a latest computer that's really fast at loading screens, you might be in the 25 seconds to 30 seconds territory. So you will increase your efficiency. Let's move forward until I loot the stuff. So you're going to loot a few stuffs. If the first one is not level 40, just continue doing that. I mean, you could go with a level 39, but you're going to want the veil crystals from all those rare items that you loot anyway. So you might as well go like have one inventory filled with items before you decide to stop. Like I would fix the limit at one inventory, 33 items. Let's move forward. Where did I get it? Yes, there, probably this run or last run. Here. Hello, Cedar stuff. So I think this one was my maybe my second stuff. And see, this one was a level 40. The first one was level 37 or 38, something like that. And I continued until I got this one. This, my friends, is the whole reason you're doing that loop over and over. Get your hands on that weapon because it's gonna give you a huge power spike to clear the first capstone dungeon at level 40.